Today on Max's Tech Lab, we'll be finishing off wiring the ATS and the front panel components. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so if you haven't seen the last video, I'd highly suggest going and watching that, because then you'll know where we are up to with all this wiring. But I'll run you over it real quick. So basically, power comes in from those two jacks, goes down these wires into these breakers so that I can isolate it if needed very easily from the inside. They go into these two relays for the emergency stop and the key switch isolation. They go back up and then into the common of these relays, which will actually be doing the switching. So today we're going to be wiring up everything on the front and those two relays. Okay, so the ATS is all done. So I will show you around and then I'll give you a little demonstration of it working. So there you can see, we're still on the front panel, so we've got the DC volts, which is how much is leaving this system. So currently it is about 12 volts. Amps, again, what's leaving the system, E-stop. So you can see when I hit the E-stop, voltage instantly drops, light turns off. That light is also on the output, so no matter what, that's telling you what you have on the output. This, same as the E-stop, it's wired on the same circuit. As you can see there, it's turning on and off the system. Just turn them on. On the inside, focus this. Inside, you have the back and the actual inside. So here you will start off where the power comes in. So we have these three jacks here. First one is the main power source coming in. So that comes from a 12-volt adapter that you plug into the wall. It can supply up to 2 amps. I do have other ones that can supply up to more, but I just put a 2 amp because this thing draws nowhere near 2 amps, even with quite a big load. This is the battery backup, and that comes from a big battery pack I have under here, so you can see they're connected up there. Then the last one is obviously going to be your output. So this is the cable for the output, and it just plugs in there like that. On the inside you have the cables coming in. They go into tonal blocks because I couldn't solder this thicker cable onto these. And they go down. If you're wondering why it's a bit of a mess here, it's because that is the output, and that is going to go into 2 other breakers that are going to go into here. So they come up, the main and battery backup go into these manual isolators. This is the first thing they go into, nothing else before these, so you can isolate both of them safely from these. So I'll turn them back on. Then here they go up and it is a bit of a mess here, but so the power comes in, goes through these. These are how you can isolate it. And they go up into these. These are the emergency stop relays. So when you hit the E-stop or the key switch, these are what will disconnect the power. Then the power comes out of them, runs around here, and then goes into these two. These are the two actual switching relays. So you can see that goes in, then on the back we have the two joining together. Now notice how one's on the bottom, one's on the top. That is so that they cannot connect to each other at the same time. And then they come up into these two terminal blocks. You can see here. Just go out a little bit. Try and focus. So then they go up, and then they go into the meters. So you can see the negative going into there, and the positive then goes through the amp, and then gets sent back down, and then goes down the side of this, and then to the output or load. Then the next one that comes up is just a negative that is being sent back down, so the load negative as well. And then these three over here come from this battery over here that runs up the side and through to the E-stop. So this one and this one come from the E-stop right here. Positive and negative come from the E-stop. Then it goes up into the key switch, and the E-stop goes back down into the key switch from the E-stop. And then goes into this, which then goes down, connects to these two relays. I ran a negative up there thinking I needed it. I didn't, but it's good to have up there in case I wanted to add a light for when it's activated or something like that. So it's pretty nice. So yeah, that is basically all the things. It does say here, red letters on wire identify separate supplies in emergency switch to off. And you can see here that all of these have those labels telling you switch that off if something happens. Okay, so let's now go and show it working. Okay, so you can see we have the light, which means we have power, and the power is also plugged in, so I can unplug the battery back up and nothing happens because it's running on that first one, which is the main. So it is hooked up to the battery backup with this big battery I have, and the mains. That's the output, which goes to my fire alarm system. Yeah, I'm using my fire alarm system because it is quite a big load. Just to test these, it's the biggest load that I have. That runs on 12 volts, I think. So what I'll do is, you can see I've temporarily hooked it up, so that's the negative and the positive is down there. So what I'll do is I'll activate it. This bit does contain flashing lights. So you can see it's now activated. You can see that it has started to draw some current. If this will focus. You can see it's drawing some current there, showing just over 1 amp. The voltage is again 12 volts, as you would expect. The light is on, saying that there's output power, which, clearly there is. So if I hit this E-stop, it will kill the power to everything, so it all shuts down. There's no voltage being pulled. When I reset it, it will turn back on. Same with the key. Hit that, everything's off. Turn it on, activate my fire alarm system again. And this is a little thing that I might need to fix, but it does turn off the fire alarm system when it switches over. That's alright if the fire alarm system isn't running, but generally if there's a fire, the power goes out sometimes. So if I unplug the main, see, switched over, you hold all the relays, click. Now the fire alarm system is on, I've got the main, it's running on battery backup, but it's turned itself off again. And if I unplug the battery backup, you see everything shuts down. Now, fire alarm system works on this battery backup. This has nothing to do with the ATS working. It has to do with the size of my battery down there. It's a very big battery. This thing will run on it for a long time. Then hit the E-stop, turns off, even on the battery backup. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Want something new? Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.